Welcome back to the Yaffee program. This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. Glad you have joined the show today. By the way, you'll be glad if you contact my good friends at VIP Care. They are primary care with a heart for seniors. So maybe you are 65 years or older, or you have a family member who has to deal with the healthcare system and they're 65 years or older and they're just having a tough time. They can't find the right doctor, the right kind of care. Well, that's why VIP Care exists. They don't just treat illnesses and symptoms. They find out what's causing them. Their doctors listen, ask questions, and work with you to create a plan that fits your needs. So they want you to have more time with your doctor. They have 24/7 support as well in convenient locations where you can get everything done. Primary care, specialists, they can do lab testing right there and more. So go to getvipcare.com right now. Getvipcare.com. Find a clinic near you. When you do, let them know Yaffee was the one who sent you. All right, let's end the show like we usually do. We have the Yaffee program rewind. That time of the show where I remind you if you missed any of it live, well, the podcast will be up on the website, WVNN.com, or anywhere you get your podcasts. So we started the show today talking about the diary of Dr. Fauci. The diary of Dr. Fauci. Be an interesting book, actually. But apparently in his diary, he admitted that he knew that the COVID-19 virus did not originate from the Wuhan wet market. Now, he did not know. He didn't say that he thought it was a lab leak. He thought maybe it came from another place. But later on, he was telling people that, no, it came from that wet market. This is what happens when you have a technocrat who thinks very highly of himself, who probably looks in the mirror and says, "Good morning, Mr. Science." That's what happens. I like how the Wall Street Journal put it. I read this earlier. I'll read it again. They said, it points to a larger lesson still unlearned from the COVID debacle. The doctor of the diaries comes across as all too human, stubborn, biased, vain, and vindictive. Yet the media and most of the political class treated him as a Solomonic sage, the perfect technocrat capable of managing all of society. The COVID record shows that his advice was often wrong, and in this case, in the case of the lockdowns, catastrophically so. This is why voters increasingly rebel against rule by the quote-unquote experts. After reading the Fauci diaries, the real question is why we'd ever allow such a person to rule over us in that way again. So we talked about that at the beginning of the show. He's going to be speaking in front of the Senate today. It should be interesting. So the podcast of that segment is up, though. We had the Alabama bullet points earlier as well. The top stories from around the state, including, speaking of COVID, had a story how Katie Britt backs anti-fraud bill that would claw back $65 billion in unused COVID funds. So if you want the details of that, the podcast of that segment is up. We also talked about flock cameras, and everyone's worried about flock cameras. I just got a long text, by the way, Bugsy, on why we should be very worried about flock cameras, that we're wrong on this. So if you want to text in, you can, but that's kind of the new thing. I tend to think the technology is going to stay around. We just have to make sure there are important safeguards when it comes to the technology. So we also talked about government-run grocery stores. Tuberville had an interesting response to that. Play the Tuberville cut for me again. Can you play that, Bugsy?
You're exactly right. It'll be devastating to a lot of things there. Unfortunately, they'll start counting on it. There's one reason that we give SNAP cards is for people that need food, that don't have the opportunity to have a job. But at the end of the day, Rob, if people want to do what's right and they want to make themselves better, go get a job. Go out there and work. Don't lean on somebody else. Don't lean on the federal government. But this is socialism and communism at its best. And it won't last long. I think they're spending the first few months $90 million on this nonsense. The American people should be appalled across the country because we're only having this in New York, the top and most renowned city in the world where you have opportunities galore to get a job. But we're having to open up these grocery stores for illegals, basically, Rob. It's going to be illegals that don't have money to try to get their vote.
All right, so the podcast of that segment is up as well. We talked about Iran. Victoria Coates was on. That segment is up as well. We did What's Trending. And thanks to Bugsy for producing today. Thanks to you for listening. The Vince Show is coming up next, and I will be back tomorrow at the same time. See you then.
You're listening to Yaffee on WVNN.
You didn't start a business just to keep the lights on. You're here to sell more today than yesterday. You're here to win. Lucky for you, Shopify built the best converting checkout on the planet. Like the just one tapping, ridiculously fast acting, sky-high sales stacking, champion of checkouts. That's the good stuff right there. So if your business is in it to win it, win with Shopify. Start your free trial today at shopify.com/win.
Scrolling with Haley.
I'm Haley Carania. I scroll with the homies here in the live chat because there's a lot to scroll through on X, on Instagram, on TikTok.
Cutting through the clutter, one hot take at a time.
Love seeing you all in the chat before the show. I tried to jump in just a few minutes before to say hello. I love the chat interaction. Thank you for helping. But I do it to get all of the videos and all of the content that you won't find anywhere else.
Scrolling with Haley.
Just search that up and I will be there.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Jim Rome takes on sports.
I will always have a complicated relationship with this game, but people evolve. So do sports. Do not make me regret this. Do not make me devolve back to that guy that so many clones wish that I still was. And do not embarrass the entire country. Now, I can go back. I can get there fast. Lose tonight, and you got a real problem. Do not blow it.
The Jim Rome Show podcast.
You've been warned.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.